Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for July 24, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, the ongoing U.S.-Iran conflict has prompted several Middle Eastern countries to accelerate plans for alternative oil export routes, bypassing the strategic Strait of Hormuz. This development comes as a response to the increased risk of disruptions to oil supplies, which could have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. In another surprising turn of events, President Trump has introduced a condition on the recently signed U.S.-Saudi Arabia nuclear deal, requiring Saudi Arabia to join the Abraham Accords as a prerequisite for the agreement to take effect. This move has sent shockwaves throughout the Middle East, with many questioning the implications of such a demand. The fate of the U.S.-Saudi Arabia nuclear deal now hangs in the balance as Saudi Arabia weighs its options. Lastly, the U.S. has imposed new tariffs on dozens of countries, effective immediately, in a significant move to address forced labor concerns. The tariffs, ranging from 10% to 15%, will apply to goods from major trading partners, including China, Vietnam, and the European Union. This action aims to encourage countries to adopt and enforce import prohibitions on goods made with forced labor. We will continue to provide updates and analysis on these developing stories as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. First, the United Kingdom has announced its readiness to defend itself against any potential attack from Iran, following a warning issued by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This situation is complex, with both sides taking actions that could escalate tensions. We urge all parties involved to exercise restraint and work towards a peaceful resolution. In another developing story, a Secret Service agent assigned to Vice President J.D. Vance's security detail is under investigation for allegedly leaking sensitive information about the Vice President's personal travel requests. This raises important questions about balancing security protocols with the personal needs of public figures. We will continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. Finally, 6 candidates vying to succeed current United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres presented their cases at a UN town hall event. The next Secretary-General will face significant challenges in restoring the UN's credibility and effectiveness in addressing global conflicts and challenges. We will be watching this selection process closely, as the world waits with bated breath to see who will emerge as the next leader of the United Nations. These stories remind us of the importance of careful consideration and thoughtful action in times of crisis. As we navigate these complex issues, we must prioritize peaceful resolution, accountability, and effective leadership. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we looked at the recent developments in Elon Musk's ventures, particularly Tesla and SpaceX. With a price-to-sales ratio of 12, SpaceX is trading at a significant premium to the broader market, raising concerns about its valuation. However, the company's growth potential, especially in the AI infrastructure market, estimated to be worth $1.5 trillion, could justify its lofty valuation. We're keeping a close eye on their upcoming quarterly report, scheduled for August. In our second article, we explored the exciting world of Agentic AI and its potential impact on blockchain technology. According to Sandy Call, head of digital assets and innovation at Franklin Templeton, Agentic AI will drive mainstream blockchain adoption, leading to new opportunities for investors and the emergence of new leaders in the industry. With estimates suggesting that agentic commerce could reach $3 trillion to $5 trillion by 2025, this is an area worth watching. Lastly, we delved into the world of space technology, where SpaceX's Starlink satellite internet constellation is making waves. With over 1.3 million paying customers and counting, Starlink is a major driver of growth for SpaceX. The upcoming launch of the V3 Starlink satellites is expected to deliver a significant boost to the business, with improved bandwidth and capacity. However, other players like Amazon's Kuiper systems are vying for market share, making it an interesting space to watch. As we look to the future, one thing is certain: these industries will continue to evolve rapidly, full of opportunities and challenges alike. As investors, it's essential to approach these stories with a critical eye, weighing the pros and cons before making any decisions. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. Firstly, NASA's Mars exploration program has made a groundbreaking discovery on the red planet. According to a recent study published in the journal Nature, scientists have found evidence of seasonal brine flows on Mars, which could have significant implications for the search for life beyond Earth. Secondly, a team of planetary scientists has challenged the long-held theory of the late heavy bombardment of the Moon and Earth. New findings from a recent study suggest that the paradigm is shifting, and the solar system's adolescence may have been more gradual than previously thought. Lastly, SpaceX is gearing up for the second launch of its upgraded Starship, version 3, after an engine failure forced an abort during its first attempt last week. This mission marks a significant milestone in the development of the world's largest and most powerful rocket, and it promises to be a critical step towards realizing SpaceX's vision for future orbital missions. These articles remind us of humanity's innate curiosity and drive to explore the vast expanse of our cosmos. As we gaze up at the stars, we're compelled to ask, what secrets await us in the universe? How will the advancements made by pioneers like SpaceX shape the future of humanity? And what wonders will be unveiled as we venture further into the unknown? Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. First, the NCAA. A rule controversy surrounding player eligibility has taken a new turn, with Texas Longhorns' Cole Hudson potentially rejoining the team after a courtroom ruling in his favor. This comes as the NCAA grapples with the complexities of player eligibility and the need for a fair and balanced system. In other news, former Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola is in talks to become the next head coach of the Italian national team, following Italy's disappointing failure to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The appointment would be a major coup for Italian football, but it remains to be seen whether the FIGC can meet Guardiola's salary demands. Finally, the Texas Longhorns are gearing up to face off against the LSU Tigers in a highly anticipated SEC showdown, with quarterback Arch Manning leading the charge in his home state. With the electric atmosphere of Death Valley and the talent on both teams, this promises to be an unforgettable clash of SEC titans. We will be keeping a close eye on these stories as they develop. So, now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Corral.
Thank you, Howard. First, in Texas, a midwife named Maria Rojas has been given a glimmer of hope after the 15th Court of Appeals reversed an injunction that forced her to close her clinics. While this is a victory for Rojas, it's essential to remember that the human stories behind the headlines are complex and multifaceted. As we navigate this sensitive issue, we must prioritize fairness, balance, and empathy. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, protests and vigils continue to take place after a police shooting reignited concerns about racism and police use of force. This incident has sparked a national conversation about policing and racial justice, with many advocating for greater accountability and reform. As the investigation continues, it's crucial that we listen to the voices of those affected and work towards creating a more just and equitable society. Lastly, in Granger County, Tennessee, a small community is mourning the loss of former basketball coach Doug McBee. Coach McBee was more than just a coach. He was a friend, a leader, and a shining example of the very best that small-town America has to offer. His legacy will continue to inspire and uplift the people of Granger County for years to come. These stories remind us that, despite our differences, we are all connected by our shared humanity. As we go about our day, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of everyday life, the dignity of ordinary work, and the importance of tradition. Let's also remember the wisdom found in small towns and the power of individual stories to inspire and uplift us. I'm Charles, and I'll see you again soon. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Can we talk? Let's dive into the latest from Hollywood. First off, it's all about family, and I'm not just talking about the Kardashians. A-listers like Cardi B, Reese Witherspoon, Madonna, and Kate Moss are showing off their mini-me's, and trust me, the resemblance is uncanny. It's a heartwarming display of family ties, and with Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to celebrate these incredible moms and their adorable kids. But that's not all. We're also taking a look at some of the most iconic and unlikely celebrity friendships out there. From Oprah and Gayle to Sophie Turner and Maisie Williams, these best friends forever are giving us major goals. And let's not forget about Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, who have been friends for over 2 decades and recently collaborated on the Apple TV series The Morning Show. Even Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg have formed an unlikely bond. Who knew they'd make such a great team? On a more somber note, the entertainment industry is mourning the loss of Mary-Kate Golding, a talented set decorator who worked on the acclaimed Amazon series The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Her tragic passing has sent shockwaves through the industry, and our thoughts are with her loved ones, including her infant son. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, a groundbreaking study has revealed the underlying simplicity behind the spectacular diversity of birdsong. Researchers used artificial intelligence to analyze over 10,000 songs from more than 1,000 species and discovered that the environment plays a significant role in shaping a bird's song. This finding has important implications for our understanding of the impact of human activity on natural soundscapes and could lead to new strategies for conservation and preservation. In other news, native rodents in Australia's urban bushlands have been found to be fighting back against invasive species, offering hope for urban conservation efforts. The discovery that native bush rats are competing with and even attacking invasive black rats could have significant implications for the management of ecosystems and may reduce the need for poison in controlling invasive populations. Lastly, we have a heartwarming story from Coney Island Beach, where an endangered Kemp's Ridley sea turtle named Pancake was released back into the Atlantic Ocean after making a remarkable recovery. With a satellite tag attached to its shell, scientists will be monitoring Pancake's migration back to the Gulf, highlighting the importance of conservation efforts for these incredible creatures. These stories showcase the power of conservation and the impact that human activity can have on the natural world. Join us throughout the day as we delve deeper into these fascinating topics and explore more news from around the globe. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.